I think we drink the Kool-Aid. It's not always that, well, she probably didn't like the rules in the house. Maybe she didn't if the rule was she had to get down with her uncle. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a dangerous stance to take to say that they're runaways. And so what has happened with these girls, and with other girls of color, before they say this child is in danger, they just assume, oh, she ran away. And then, of course, the same amount of effort is not put into the search.
Right. And like you said, they're still kids.
Yeah.
So they still need to, whether they ran away, got kidnapped, it's all bad.
Right.
So it's like the criminal who does something wrong. If you can capture him without harming him, do that. Mm-hmm. If he's not a threat, Laquan McDonald. If he's not a threat to anybody, you don't have to kill him. Hello? Just take him. Do whatever you got to do to get him down to the ground. Taser him if you have to, but you don't have to kill him.
And that's
in the same way with the kids. Whether you run away or not, they're 14, 13, 9, whatever age they are. They need help.
They need help. Runaways, kids in a missing situation, whether that's voluntarily or not, they face a unique set of challenges.
But then those social services are not getting funded.
There you go, thinking.
Agent Orange.
It takes a village.
It takes a village.
But some people are not willing to be part of the village. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned something as you started talking about breakfast and yolks and eggs and all that.
Sorry, I'm hungry.
No, but it does point to a larger point that we're somewhat lazy. People don't want to read. Mm-hmm. People don't want to dig down. We want to go straight for the headline. We want to run with it.
We want dessert.
Yeah, and some people are like excited and are looking for a reason to be mad. Mm-hmm. And the reality is there's a broader story. And so if we're not willing to take the extra effort and get down so we can fully articulate it, then our views will never be heard. And oftentimes you will, just begin to look somewhat foolish because you haven't investigated what's going on and you become like Chicken Little.
Yeah. It's like you want the finished result, but you don't want to put the work in. Mm-hmm. It's like you mentioning about the workout thing and me saying I got something to do.
You can wash and condition your hair.
Right. Without putting the work in. You want the finished product, but you don't want to put the work in. Mm-hmm. So same thing with this.
And then, I let it slide, but I just figured like, man, you could wash and do your hair the day before or
no, see, it's those Saturdays that's special to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's tradition.
So you being off work on Fridays, that doesn't matter? No. Okay.
I'm just going to kind of briefly throw this out there. One way to keep having Saturdays is to start getting fit. But anyway, that's
I agree with these things.
But I will remind you, I do work at a funeral home as well. So I'd rather meet you on that Saturday than another Saturday.
Amen. Please don't leave, Fred.
Was that too subtle?
No. It was
a tad bit.
Incredibly clear. Please don't leave, Fred. I'll be devastated. Thank you. You talked about the community. You talked about the village. I think that's a great way to segue into why you are here. Not just because you're the homie, but because, you are are you the founder?
I had a reason to be here? I just showed up like.
That's how you feel? Okay.
Thought you just wanted to see me.
Yeah, I just wanted to hang out.
I mean, you're welcome. At some point, though, I'm going to sleep. Like, y'all can hang out as long as y'all want. Mm-hmm. Just turn the lights off. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Or leave money for the bill. So again, Mike Neal is in studio with us. As you've heard, he fits right in.
Hey, everybody.
With leading with literacy, and he's also the pastor of Glorious Light Church in Chicago's Bronxville neighborhood. Tell us, what is leading with literacy?
Well, first of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with yourselves and your guests. Leading with Literacy is a literacy program that was started about 5 years ago by myself. We started out as Real Men Read. Mm-hmm. Did not realize that CPS already had a Real Men Read program.
Really?
And owned the name. Look, the teacher didn't know that.
I didn't.
So
that's why I left.
Just as a way of serving, it's always been a part of my DNA to serve where I live and where I worship. Went to one principal. Mm-hmm. And Miss Sonia Spiller and a little small school, pre-K to third grade, and I inquired about reading to kids once a week. And it's like, sure. So they grabbed any kid that was there before school and just say, hey, come on, this guy want to read to you, and just developed a passion for it. And we went from that one school to the different classrooms, and then eventually 10 schools in Bronzeville.
Nice. Did you come to Overton? Is that why you were there?
You know what? We were trying to work on some things. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember you coming. I don't know what the result was, because that was around the time I was getting ready to transition out.
Right.
So forgive me if I blocked that part of my life out of my out of my head. I remember the students, but yeah, just kind of blocked some of those experiences out.
Well, we did get a chance to connect in a sense of supporting a few families there.
Good.
And with the social worker.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So how many volunteers did you start off with?
You're looking at them.
Just you. Got it. And how many do you have now?
No, but, you know, we got about 15 to 20 men consistently.
Okay.
Going in on a weekly basis. We want that number to be higher, of course. Mm-hmm. But we started out just having guys come in once a week. And I always remind our guys, it's a little book to little kids.
Okay. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be, you know, this big, long novel. First of all, kids are not going to pay attention that long.
Right. Exactly. Right. You got short attention spans. And I especially love my guys who are big ballers, you know, because we get on social media and we talk about what we do and we get our titles. And I said, well, if you're the boss, can't you tell yourself you're going to be late today and spend 15 minutes reading to some kids?
I agree with that. Yeah. I do it, and I don't even run my company. But.
So the program is really designed for people who have flexible schedules, you know, semi-retired or retired, but definitely someone who, you know, may be able to do this on their way to work.
That's great. So is it typically a morning thing, an afternoon thing, or?
Typically morning, during the regular read aloud that most schools have, when the teacher sits the children down and read to them aloud. But because we've developed, you know, good relationship and partnership with various schools, you may be able to talk to a teacher and say, you know, I could do afternoons. Is that okay? And oftentimes teachers will try to accommodate your schedule.
That's great. That's great, because you all are the village. And so most educators are in it because they understand the village is needed. Why are you laughing at me? Because I said most.
No, because I always say that I've never seen a principal turn down anything. Well, you offer something, they're like, yes, when you doing it, when you coming. Okay, all right, here's the keys.
You got the whole keys to the building?
Right. So
what kind of professions are represented among your volunteers?
Oh, man, we have... professors,
okay, yay.
Preachers, we have businessmen, we have retired men, you know, so we got a range of people. In the past, we've had law enforcement and firemen, so just a number of professions, skill sets that come in. It's a little book, little kids, pre-K to third grade, so usually we tell the brothers that you can handle it.
Okay, absolutely. So you said that the principals are always eager. The teachers are eager. How have you been received by the students? You have the cutest pictures on the site.
Oh, well, these kids are something else. And I think that's what really makes you really come to appreciate this, because they love to see you come in there. You know, once you're a regular guy, you become their superhero. In our first school that we started at, there was an all-female school, the staff. The custodian was a female. The security guard was a female. And they only had one, like, teacher aide that was a man. And he came later in the year. So imagine when a man comes in on a regular basis, they would just eat us up.
Yeah.
Now, you know, all the brothers are asking, where's the school at?
Right. They have since hired some men teachers.
That's hilarious. So, can women volunteer?
We really would prefer that they don't.
Okay.
For this portion, because they have their female teacher or they're reading to them every day. So to have another woman come in is kind of redundant.
Yeah.
But that's why we changed our name, because besides Real Men Read, Leading with Literacy does more than just read to the children. We now become advocates in the community.
Okay.
We also now are specializing in book giveaways. As books come in, still excited. Today we received 1,000 books.
Nice.
Because of partnership with Pastor Chris Harris and ABC 7 News. And so we give book giveaways. In the summer, we do something called Books Instead of Bullets. So we go on a regular street corner, and we just set up shop, and we start giving out books. And,
that's great.
And we're going to take back our streets one book at a time. So that's been good. And then there's other times where you can get some individualized tutoring or something like that. So those are the positions that we offer to women or females. But for the in-classroom, I think it's just kind of redundant to do that.
I understand, because I think what is lacking in some of the homes is the male presence. And so you all coming in gives them that. Like, we're human. Yeah. We know that we need, the presence of both genders. Yeah. So whether they can articulate that they know that need or they can't, it's there.
And I think just naturally, since I've been doing this, I'm starting to see some of the kindergarten kids that I started out with, or maybe preschool, that are up now, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. And when you see a young boy come and hug you and then ask for a book, how exciting. I mean, I'm slipping children books like it's crack or something. I'm like, man, all I got is this one book, so here, don't tell nobody. I don't have enough for everybody, but I know you like to read, so.
And that's great, and it helps them. A lot of times students struggle because they can't grasp what they're getting, and so they purposefully become a distraction to take away from, well, I can't do the work. Yes. And so then it becomes problematic. It becomes cyclical. Now I got to put you out of class. You're getting further and further behind. Now you don't have any skills. So I think what you all are doing is important.
That's why we stick with the earlier grades, because we're trying to build scholars one book at a time. So our whole goal is to get them excited about literacy, to let them even see that it's cool to read. I personally, whatever I'm reading myself, I carry it with me, because I want them to see that I always have a book with me.
Yeah. I agree with that. So what other kinds of volunteer support would you need from the community? So I can't, let's say I can't come to, read, but what else could I do as a volunteer?
Well, right now, you could definitely spread the news of what we're doing. We need recruitment. We need more men. We have book giveaways. So we're always, like I said, in the summer, we're out on the streets. And even now at our worship and ministry location, 43rd and Drexel, whenever we're open, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, and even Sundays, we have a book table where we encourage anybody that's coming in to get a book, or even come off the street and grab a few books. And lately I've got a shipment of books I've been trying to give away to teachers, some fantasy books that would be good for middle school. Just say, hey, come on by and get you a box or two and, take them to your classroom.
All right. I know some people who need that. That's great. So do schools reach out to you, or do you reach out to them? How does that work?
It's a combination. It starts with an organic friendship, maybe through whether it be the principal or a teacher, and we'll discuss. One thing we want to do is not just list schools that we're not able to actually be at. So that's why for now, Bronzeville has been our main concentration of schools. So we can make sure we service them well. But we are starting to make inroads into Inglewood, and I even visit Bridgeport every now and then.
Okay.
And then now we've started to go to Phoenix, Arizona, and Cincinnati, Ohio. So that was another reason for changing the name as well.
Excellent, excellent. So you're a pastor. Where do you find the time to pastor a church, a growing church, and work on, you're looking at your hands like, I don't know.
I got 5 jobs.
I got 10 jobs, man. I got 10 jobs.
Hilarious. How do you find the time to balance your pastoral duties with leading with literacy?
Leading with literacy is my pastoral duty.
Okay.
Because I believe, my philosophy is that the church should be infused within the community.
Agreed.
And I think that the church is not just there for a Sunday type of worship or even a Bible study, but we're supposed to be in the lives and throughout the lives of all the community. And we need to touch people, and people need to know us. And so where I serve, I also serve on the Bronzeville Community Action Council, where all the schools convene. I previously have served on the LSC of my children's school.